Well, I know you feel it, but you have to be aware of the whole world is changing right in front of our eyes. Job markets are changing, opportunities are changing, and a lot of this is because of the internet. And there's so many things happening, but the old stuff isn't working anymore. I mean, like the way to get a job or the way to start a company now in our country has changed dramatically. I mean, I don't know if you know of a company called Airbnb. Okay, now this is like a bed and breakfast, but it's not. It's somebody who gives hotel rooms all over the world. Okay, but they're in people's homes or people's apartments that they don't use and things like that. And this business that is really just a business on the internet because they own nothing. They don't own, they're using other people's apartments. If I have a spare room, I put it on here and then somebody will rent it maybe for $50, $100 for the night. So I'm making money, and they're making money and all that business does is have a website. Doesn't own any rooms, doesn't own any hotels, doesn't own anything. And they're now worth more than Hyatt hotels. That's right. And they have a fraction of the employees. Like Hyatt Hotels has 45,000 employees. This company has maybe a few thousand, and they just went public and they raised like $10 billion. That's more than the value they think of Hyatt. And actually, I think it's up to 20 now because this is a data that's a few months old. So here's a business, in the hotel business, owns no rooms, has very few employees, and is a value. So it's, the people who own this thing are making more money, and the people giving the rooms are making money too. Yeah, that they never knew they had before. Now this video is really another kind of business like that. And you see it's happening more and more. Because see, that Airbnb, like I'm using it to go to China. Okay, I'm gonna find these great cute little apartments I could get for, excuse me, a lot less than if I went to a hotel. Plus, I'm in the community, I'm getting to know people, and they're helping me better than a concierge who's just trying to get more money from me or whatever. And it'll be a more pleasant experience. So this is the growth that's happening. This company now you're gonna watch this interview because he's done that with moving. He started a website. Okay, the young guys just a year or two out of college said, hey, moving is terrible. Everybody's moving, but nobody uses a professional movies because it costs too much. On this website, they're providing moving help at a fraction of what the big guys cost. You know why? Because they own nothing. They don't own the employees that come out. Yeah, they don't own the big trucks or whatever, with the signs on the side. No, they own nothing. They're just putting things together. If you want to move, you go to this site, and what they do is hire big, football player college types to come out and do it for you, for a fraction of what these movie companies cost. And what's neat about it is the employees only work when they want to. They work when they want to, for the price they want to, and whatever. So they're happier employees, And that's why when you're finding a job, yes, you could have 5, 6 jobs like that instead of having one lousy job that you hate to go to every day. Oh God, do I gotta go to that thing again? Instead, you can wake up in the morning, hey, maybe I feel like working today. So I'm gonna go and see if I get a job on here today. And you work for the day, you work for the week, work for the year, or whatever. See, so you talk to when you see this interview, you see he sees data that, in a few years, 50% of us will be working as contract employees. No more retirement plan and all this kind of stuff. No, we're living better. See, and they're providing a service that's cheaper. So this has to grow. If I could go somewhere on the internet, somebody doesn't have assets and a big bureaucracy that's going to charge me all this money to get something, and I'm going to get it a lot cheaper. That's going to grow than the old way, right? So that's what happens. That's like taxi cabs, Now, the Ubers and things like that, you're using somebody's private car. So that taxi cab company, Uber, doesn't own any cars. Doesn't have to worry about it. So no overhead, less people, less problems, all this kind of stuff. And you get direct involvement. See, that's why I think the internet, what it also does is get people closer together. Don't say, everybody has their face on the phone and we're separating. No, if I'm able to rent a room from somebody in another city, I'm getting that internet has brought me closer to somebody I would have never met before. If I'm ever to rent a car from a neighbor, that I barely knew, but his car's available for $50 for the whole day for me to use it or whatever. And then plus, I'm going to treat that nicer, right? Because I know that person. If I get a Hertz car, I'm going to, if I spill soda in it, I don't care. I bring it back. And, it's a big company, and I don't care about this big company, right? But if I'm renting from an individual, and it's all done on a website, so we keep track of each other. Everybody knows who's good and bad, who's naughty or nice, because everybody keeps track on the website. Everybody reviews everybody else. So your neck is out there. That's why I see the internet bringing people closer together. You're going to meet people you never met before, never had an opportunity, and you'll treat things better because it's Joe's car. It's not Hertz. I don't care about Hertz because Hertz doesn't care about me. Joe lives down the street, and Joe gives me nice service because he knows me. So this is another one. And what this moving company has done, it's just kids starting a business. 10 years ago, you want to start a business, you'd have to have billions of dollars to get trucks and all this stuff and hire people. Now, you just get the internet, right? So watch this, start learning, man. Well, Stephen Duty, right? No, Cameron Duty, and your partner, Stephen Galatos. I'd probably kill that. But who cares about your name? It's the website, getbellhops.com, and your two guys, a couple years out of college, hated your boring management jobs, didn't you? And you found this thing, bellhops, where now people anywhere in the country practically could get somebody to help them move any of their furniture or whatever they're doing for a fraction of what all these big mover companies have making zillions of dollars doing. You're doing for a fraction of the cost, aren't you?
We are.
Why? Why?
Well, we've decided that there's a huge gap. The moving industry is totally fragmented.
Yeah.
And you have, close to 50 million Americans will be moving this year,
Wow.
and 35 million of those people are do-it-yourselfers.
35 million people do it themselves every time?
Yeah,
God.
and it's not because they want to do it themselves, but just because they're price conscious and they don't want to do the hassle and cost.
They want to keep the chiropractors in business. Huh?
Exactly. So, our goal is to reduce the cost of small-scale moving. And we do that by, we're an on-demand tech-based platform for moving help that contracts local college students in 135 cities. And so just to provide great athletic, clean-cut individuals who can communicate with you to show up and say, hey, let's get the job done.
So these are college hunks, so to speak, that are really sitting around looking at their iPhones waiting for a job. And when you plug in on the website, man, you're going to get a call from some good-looking college guy who's willing to move your stuff for a fraction of the cost, right?
That's it.
Yeah. And what you guys provide is the platform, right? So it's the service online. I could go on my phone or on the web and just say, hey, which I did just a few minutes ago. Hey, I live in College Park, and I put in your website, College Park, and they say, okay, you want one guy, two guys, three guys, you want a truck, you want whatever, and bam, I had a price at a fraction of what it is. And then if I consummated the deal, I would be getting calls from these people, right?
That's right. And you'd also get an email with pictures of your bellhops and who they are and all that.
I see. That's what. And then, but you guys are insured and everything. So this is just some guy at getting drunk in the college dorm or something and get bored. I mean, you guys vent all these people, and you have insurance, and even the people who work for you have workman's comp and things like this, so they're not street people.
Right. Yeah, they're all current college students, and they go through a really thorough screening process. As far as background checks, all of that is totally covered, and we take pride in providing really quality, high caliber individuals.
But it seems more than that. If I need a truck, that you're set up to get a truck at a discount too.
Yep. Essentially, the reason that we provide trucks is just to provide a better service to our customers. It's essentially just a wash. We basically just pass the cost on of what it costs us. but it allows us to get a job that we wouldn't normally get if one of our customers needed a truck.
Truck. So no, when I go on the site and say, hey, I need a truck, I just click, hey, I need a truck, and then it's an extra, $130 for the whole day for the truck, but I don't pick it up. I mean, the college guy's picking it up, right? And coming all prepared to use the truck and move me where I want to go. But also what's interesting is that even though I book for 4 or 5 hours, but I only use 2, I'm only getting charged for the 2, right?
Right. So we have a 1 hour minimum, and then we prorate in 15-minute increments. So your bellhops clock in and out on their phones. And so if you booked us for 5 and the job only took 2, you're only paying for 2.
Wow. Well, that's, I don't think these big guys do that. You book for 5 and they bill 10, I think, is what most of
Right.
Because it's so hard to tell sometimes. But more importantly, too, it seems like you're giving a great, income opportunity for college kids. I mean, because this is something so flexible. If they have exams, they don't have to, go to that barista job, even though they're too busy, and they could just take a job when they want it, if they want it, and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, independent contractors, I read an article recently that in the next 10 years, 50% of America's workforce will be independent contractors because it's a more effective way, efficient way for individuals to work.
But not only that now, I mean, we've never had the Internet of Things, so to speak, that we have a place to go to find, to coordinate that supply and demand that's immediate available. So that's why we used to hire people for 7 years and only use them like 1 real year. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And now the internet, because out in California they always work that way in the movie business. You just went from job to job, project to project, and it's very efficient that way. So the rest of us have to become as efficient as the movie industry.
That's right. Yeah, we're just following
and you're doing it, right. So how did it take a millennial to change this, dinosaur moving industry?
Well, it's technology. I mean, we didn't exist 5 years ago. And, we were fortunate to invest in technology early. Mm-hmm. And we, managing a workforce of close to 9,000 contractors. Wow. You can't do that manually. You can't rely on phones for that. You have to have an application that automates almost everything, from bookings to coordination to communication, all the way to payments. It has to be totally automated, and that's what technology allows us to do.
Are you? Is your background technology, or what did you study in?
No, I studied supply chain management in college. And so, unfortunately, I'm a non-technical founder. But learning to code, kids come through our office all the time. Yeah. And, they're asking, how can we better prepare for once we get out of school? And the answer is you need to learn. You need to learn to code. Because computer programming will be automating much of what right now we're just dumb work. Somebody's sitting in a ticket booth and stamping tickets. I mean, all these different things that we've relied on for 100 years are going to be
gone. Absolutely. Well, it's genius that you saw this, particularly in a underserved, practical industry. I mean, it's so practical. We all got to move, and we're probably going to be moving more because jobs are going to be changing more and all this kind of stuff. And we're not going to be stuck with, existing real estate because nobody thinks that's a good investment anymore. So, which means more moving. Which means we need help moving because all that crap we got. Yeah.
Like that.
So you got us something very reasonable to solve that problem instead of. The traditional moving industry, anything that's been around 20, 30, 50 years, is full of inefficiencies and overpriced, or like the banking industry, right? And you're changing that single-handedly through technology, and you don't even have a technology degree. That's what's wonderful. Isn't America great?
It is.
Anybody could do anything. But I mean, you guys worked on it for a couple of years before even you got this running to work out the bugs and things like this.
We right. We essentially proved the market first before we decided to go raise funding, and that was some of the best times that we spent in those early years of really figuring out how are we going to do this, and so being in the trenches and like making every mistake known to man, it's allowed us to figure out what certainly doesn't work and what works better.
So your success is that you went out there and failed.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a key to success, because nobody knows what the hell works anymore. So you got to go out and fail yourself to really find out. And you've done that. Now you got getbellhops.com, one of the fastest growing ideas in the country. Got 9,000 people, that are ready, willing, and able to work, move you anywhere. You're in how many cities now? 100 and what?
136.
136 cities. So you just go to getbellhops.com, find your city, and find out you can get bellhops right now. Move the stuff out of your place. Get it somewhere else. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you.
Say hello to Steve. He's probably doing all the coding. I understand. They put you as the pretty face, right?
I don't know about that.
Thanks again. Getbellhops.com.